Welcome to Zoology class. Today's class is on Mendel's law of inheritance. My name is B. Kalpana, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Pinkley Government Degree College for Women. Gregor John Mendel. He is father of modern genetics. Okay, he did experiments on pea plants. He called genes as heritable factors. Later, these heritable factors are named as genes. Okay, these factors they will move from generation to generation. Okay, he has chosen 7 characters of pea plant, and first time he used the term dominance and recessive. Next, he proposed similar but separate inheritable characters from each parent, later to be called as genes. Inheritance. What is inheritance? That is transfer of parental characters to the offsprings is called inheritance. Okay. Traits is also nothing but character. Mendelian inheritance or Mendelian genetics or Mendelism is a set of primary tenets relating to the transmission of hereditary characters from parent organisms to their offsprings. Okay. Then the units of inheritance are called alleles of genes. Actually, genes will carry the characteristics of parents to the children. These genes, each gene is having 2 alleles. In some case, earlier we discussed about blood groups. In those cases, they carry multiple alleles. Okay. Traits are controlled by alleles, alternate forms of a gene found on homologous chromosome at a particular gene locus. The dominant allele masks the expression of the other allele. That is called recessive. Okay, dominating character or dominant allele. Genotype refers to the alleles of an individual receive at fertilization. Homozygous. If an organism has 2 identical alleles, means either both are dominant alleles or both are recessive alleles, then it is homozygous. Heterozygous. An organism has 2 different alleles. One is dominant, other is recessive. Then it is heterozygous. Phenotype. The physical appearance of individual. Here again, once again, dominant, recessive. A dominant allele is represented by capital letter. It is always expressed when it is present. Okay, it is not masked by any recessive allele. Okay, a recessive allele is represented by lower case letter. It is only expressed when an individual has one form has two recessive from mom and dad. Okay, then only recessive allele can be seen. Homozygous, as I already told you, both alleles are same. Both are dominant or recessive. Heterozygous, one dominant and one recessive allele. Then genotype and phenotype. A genotype is the genetic makeup of an individual expressed in letters. Okay, we can see it by study it by. If we study the plant by genotypically, then only we can understand. Phenotype, the physical appearance. For phenotype, no need to study the genotype. By looking at the plant, we can say It is long or short. That is phenotype, physical appearance of an individual. Next, Punnett squares. These are used to show the mating of two parents and the possible offsprings they can produce. These squares help us to identify the offsprings very easily. So Mendel observed, already I said you, 7 traits. What are they? First, flower color, purple or white. Flower position, axial or terminal. Stem length, tall or dwarf. Seed shape, round or wrinkle. Seed color, yellow or green. Pod shape, inflated or constricted. Pod color, green or yellow. Mendel's 7p characteristics. Earlier I told you. Here in diagram you can see flower color purple and white, flower position axial or terminal, okay. Seed color yellow and green. Seed shape round wrinkle. Pod shape flattened, constricted, inflated. Then pod color green, yellow. Stem length tall, dwarf. True breeding plants make offsprings that are same as that of parents. Those are called true breeding. Okay. So, basing on his results, Mendel has proposed 3 principles. What are they? Law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. See his experiments. When he crossed round and wrinkled plants, he got the ratio of 3:1. What is 3? Round is 3 and 1 is wrinkle. Here, so dominating character has come out phenotypically more as well as genotypically also. Okay, you can see with this all examples we can understand all are 3:1. Dominating characters are more expressed than recessive characters. So Mendel's law of dominance. If your two alleles are different, heterozygous, the trait associated with only one of these will be visible, that is dominant, while other will be hidden. So dominance, the dominant character is seen phenotypically as well as genotypically. That is nothing but the Mendel's law of dominance. Then law of dominance in a hybrid union, the allele which express itself phenotypically is shows. Next, law of dominance in a hybrid union, the allele which express itself phenotypically is a dominant allele, while the other is which fails to express is recessive. Okay, hybrid individual shows phenotypically only dominant character. So the law of dominance is often described as Mendel's first law of inheritance. See, this is another example. You can see tall and dwarf. Tall is capital T, dwarf is small t. When we cross tall plant with dwarf plant, we get tall only. In F1 generation, we get tall plants. Heterozygous, tall. When we cross F1 generations, in F2 generation, we get 3:1 ratio, that is 1 is homozygous, 2 are heterozygous, 1 is homozygous dwarf. So 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plant. Same, that is earlier one is monohybrid ratio, this is dihybrid ratio. See, in dihybrid ratio, dominant round seed is taken and yellow color is taken. When we cross it with recessive and green seed, In F2 generation, what we get? 9:3:3:1 ratio. So 9 are yellow and round, 3 are green and round, 3 are yellow and wrinkle, 1 is wrinkle and green. So here when the dominant character is absent, then only the recessive is expressing. So if dominant, either it is in homozygous or heterozygous condition, it is present, then dominating character is seen phenotypically. That is called law of dominance. Law of segregation. A normal somatic cell has two variants for a Mendelian trait. A gamete, sperm, egg, pollen, ovule contains one allele randomly chosen from the two somatic alleles. Example, if you have one allele for brown eyes and one for blue eyes, somatic cells have BB and each gamete will carry one B or B chosen randomly. That is law of segregation. Separation of alleles into two separate gametes. So from mother one allele will come, from father another allele will come. They get separated. This is called segregation, separation. In a gene, one allele gets separates from another allele, then it is called law of segregation. So law of segregation states each individual has two factors for each trait. The factors segregate during the formation of the gamete. This segregation occurs during the formation of gametes. Each gamete contains only one factor from each pair of factors. Fertilization gives each new individual two factors for each trait. Okay. See here example. Again tall and dwarf. See, from parent capital T tall is coming and another parent dwarf small t is coming. These are gametes, capital T gamete, small t gamete. They after in F1 generation, what we get? Tall plant. Then in F2 again from parent mother different gametes are chosen. The offsprings will be again 3:1 ratio. Okay, this is law of segregation. Monohybrid cross. What happens when true breeding plants with two distinct forms of a trait are crossed? Progeny show only one form of the trait. The observed trait is called dominant and the masked trait is called recessive. Okay. When we are looking at one trait such as eye color or height, we do a monohybrid cross. Parents are called parental generation. Children are called F1, first filial generation. Grandsons are called second filial generation. If we take two traits, then it is dihybrid. If we select one trait or one character, then it is monohybrid. Okay. Example for monohybrid cross, we have selected only one trait, that is tall and dwarf. Means height of the plant is selected. Height is the single trait in the tall and dwarf. If we choose round and wrinkle both together, seed, color and shape of the seed, and we cross, then it is dihybrid cross. Next, law of independent assortment. When a dihybrid forms gametes, each gamete receives one allele from each allelic pair, and the assortment of alleles of different traits during the gamete formation is totally independent of their original combinations in the parents. Okay. In other words, each allele of any one pair is free to combine with allele from each of the remaining pairs during the formation of gametes. It is known as the law of independent assortment of characters. The principle of independent assortment was explained by Mendel with the help of dihybrid cross involving characters, cotyledon color, yellow or round, and seed shape round or wrinkle. Mendel crossed a true breeding variety of pea having yellow cotyledons and round seeds with another breeding is green cotyledons with wrinkled seeds. Thus, the yellow round parent has genotype YYRR and the wrinkle small y small r. Since each parent homozygous for both characters, each will produce only one type of gametes. So, parent will produce yellow and round type and green and wrinkle type of gametes in F1 generation. All F1 dihybrids resulting from the fusion gametes would be double heterozygous with a genotype and appears yellow round. Okay, this indicates that dihybrid cause also in each pair and the alleles behaved exactly in the same way as in the monohybrid cross. Both dominants Y and R express themselves in F1 while both recessive alleles are remained hidden. Then, types of gametes formed by F1 dihybrid. According to Mendel, during gamete formation by F1 dihybrid, alleles of both pairs, capital Y small y and capital R small r, first segregate from each other. Law of segregation, each pair segregates independently to the pair. Then allele enters the gamete. A gamete can receive only one allele from each pair. Similarly, a gamete that receives a factor for color must also receive factor for shape. A factor for every character must be present in each gamete. Thus, the gamete that receives Y for color may receive R or R for shape. This would result in capital R and capital Y small r types of gametes. Similarly, they receive small y capital R and small y small r. This would give, okay, I already told you. This is the principle of independent assortment. 4 types of male gametes, 4 types of female gametes formed in F1 dihybrid. See here you can see they are sorted independently. Assortment, okay. Sorry. Here you can see yellow round are 9 in number, okay, and yellow wrinkle are 3, yellow green wrinkle are 3, then green wrinkle are 1, then yellow and round are 3. Okay, so each allele gets separated and assorted independently in F2 generation. During self-fertilization or interbreeding of the F1 dihybrids to produce an F2 generation, these male and female gametes can form maximum 2 dihybrid unions as shown in the Punnet's checkerboard. These can be grouped into 4 kinds on the basis of phenotypical appearance: yellow round, yellow wrinkled, green round and green wrinkled. This is phenotypic dihybrid ratio. The 16 squares of the checkerboard are serially numbered for convenience. The squares represent 16 possible combinations of the gametes which might result. The genotype and phenotype of F2 offsprings are shown in 16 squares. A count of these squares show 4 kinds of phenotypes and the ratio in the F2 generation. Mendel came to 4 important conclusions from these experimental results. The inheritance of each trait is determined by units A and A, the factors A and now these are called genes. They are passed from one generation to another generation without any change. Individual inheritance was one such unit from each parent for each trait. A trait may not show up in an individual but can still be passed on to the next generation. The genes for each trait segregate themselves during the gamete production. And thank you for listening my class. Thank you.